Welcome to the stream. Hi. So we're doing something a little different with the stream today. Why, hello.
Hello.
Welcome, friend.
Greetings, salutations, and fish.
All of those things. Or at least the first two.
Greetings, salutations, and custard.
No. Okay, I'm going to first grab up this picture for reference. And then what we're going to do is kind of start the clock. Ugh. But first we can get a little settled. Hi there. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to hear.
Tired.
Yeah, it's a tired day.
It's been a whole day, and it's been warm, and it's been sunny, and then I moved heavy things, and so I'm dead.
Oh no.
How's your Saturday? Enjoying doing things of nothingness, but also somethingness?
I've been like munching on food all day and being really lazy and trying to get work done and just practically being asleep. So, hey, not quite enjoying, but I think I probably needed the recuperation.
I mean, that's really what Saturdays are for, right?
No, Saturdays are for whooping it up, aren't they?
I thought Saturdays were for well, whatever the fuck you felt like doing, and then Sundays were for productive weekending.
I think it's the other way around, isn't it? Or wait.
You're wrong.
Neither of them are for productive weekending. They're for partying. I'm 20, remember? Not like an adult. That's not what we pretend we are.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need to have as few things playing video as possible, so I have a better... There we go. We're still streaming, and it's all good, and now I can look at this and have frame rate and not have weirdly choppy lines. That ought to be better. Okay. So, what we have here are going to be the Suldarirueax with an R, with a D instead of a T.
Yeah. Don't ask what the etymology of that is. I have no fucking clue.
Oh. I was going to ask. Okay, I like
that line. It sounded cool.
Okay.
And
so
weird.
They have like, why do they have so many legs? They have like...
So part of the design thinking was that not enough aliens are actually alien-y, so I'll make mine more alien-y, so that it's not ears or humans that are short or humans that are angry and a different skin color with some face ridges. I like Star Trek, but their aliens are lazy as fuck.
Well, their aliens are supposed to be very humanoid because they're talking about very human issues.
Oh yeah, for sure. I get that there is good reason for it, but it means they don't feel very alien, So my thinking was, let me make them more aliener. So kind of like, like rather than 2 legs, let's have 5. Why not 4? Well, because 4 legs happens, so let's do like 5. I thought about 3, but then I thought 5, they could like balance super duper well. Someone shoves them, odds are they've got some legs in the right direction to balance. So yeah, it's kind of, it's almost like a pentagram. Not pentagram. Pentagram's a star. Pentagon.
It's like a hand.
Yeah. No, less like a hand where there's sort of 4 at one side, 1 at the other. And more like a pentagon where they're equidistant.
I don't see how they would walk with that, but okay. We'll go with your design. We're starting the clock.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
When
Are you prepared?
when I kind of force my hand into the shape is they're kind of, it's almost like when you watch a horse walk or something, but if there was an extra leg.
Yeah, I'm not seeing how that works because they have 4, which means they have an equal number in front and an equal number in back.
Well, you've
Not,
seen a three-legged page, right?
yes, but I haven't seen something that developed with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you look at them from top down or from bottom up, you have like a pentagon of feet.
Right. My question, or not my question, but the part that I'm misunderstanding is like, how do they move? Because where are their joints, and trying to understand their shape in a way that I can draw it.
Yeah, I think that's part of why their air quotes bone structure isn't so much bone as cartilage. Like they're ridiculously flexible, kind of thing. You know, the air quotes hands are your classic prehensile tentacle kind of thing because that way they can flex it around and do stuff like poke things and type or whatever else. But they're also just freaking alien. So my mental thing on their legs is that they're kind of, but a little bit more rigid in terms of the base is always kind of flat. They're probably a bit stockier and thicker and stronger. And they probably mostly point down rather than pointing every which freaking way. But fairly flexible.
Can you see what I'm drawing?
I can indeed see what you are
Is
drawing.
this like anywhere on base?
It's pretty on base. Yeah. Like that's well into the realms of what the legs are leggingly like. Just on the basis of where those legs currently are, it looks kind of like the legs are. I'd had a half mind to say that forwards is directly towards one leg, and that way you kind of balance slightly better. You know, they're at least symmetrical. But yeah.
I think I have forward directly towards one leg.
Yes, and it's sort of away from the camera, but that's cool.
Oh shit. I don't know how much white I've been putting in there. And you want them to have very humanoid faces, or what do you want their faces to look like?
Somewhere between a fish and a snake.
Okay.
Like snake, I think there's a fair bit of snakiness, particularly around how their nose is. The eyes are kind of between snake and fish, so they're not, you know, set into sockets the way a primate's are. They're still somewhat. They're like 45-degree rather than straightforward or straight to the side, but they're kind of, yeah, they're flush rather than being sunk in. Nose is kind of slit-esque because it's easier. But it's a fairly, I guess the mouth is a lot more humanoid.
The mouth is a lot more humanoid, not like hard jaw.
Not like hard jaw, but certainly, you know, if they were to smile at you, it would look like a smile rather than like when a snake's looking at you and they're, you know, the shape of their mouth is pretty set, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fish, whereas they can convey with their mouth and talk like a, you know, species what talks and stuff. I'm thinking the eye's probably a little bit more forward on the face. It's like, yeah, location-wise. Huge eyes staring into your soul. Yeah, the idea behind the hand prehensile thing on the head is, again, just make them more alien. You know, they have digits on their sides. Fuck it, give them some on their head too. Why not?
Do they only have 2 arms?
Yeah, they have one on each side, and then they've kind of got that extra hand behind them, which tails off of their head. That idea was in no way, shape, or form born out of a rather drunken conversation once at a committee dinner for the archery club, where one guy decided to just start asking random questions, for fun conversation. And at some point, you asked, would you rather have a third hand on your chest, but it's really, really short and stubby? And I can't remember what the other one was, because the hand was just so objectively better. It's a hand that you can hold your beer in. It's great. It's a practical, useful thing. And he was like, yeah, but it's really, really short and stubby.
But you could use it for all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah, I can give it a thing to hold and free up my hands while still holding it. Or I can, if I'm climbing something, even if it only has a limited range of motion, there's an anchor point. It's great. The other idea, it was meant to be a tough choice. But you know how it is sometimes when they try and create a tough choice and end up that it's like just
the easiest one ever.
Like, yeah, one of the objectively better. Yeah. As far as the attachment of the arms, they don't really have so much shoulders, and it's just like there is a place where it attaches, but that's about it.
Yeah, this isn't really a shoulder. I'm kind of trying to style it after a sort of a flap of skin so that they have like padding here. It's not exactly a shoulder. It's more.
I think it's more of a smooth transition in some ways. Like if you took a piece of rubber or something, or latex, and then you pushed your finger through from behind it, so it's wrapped around your finger, and you could move it around, see it do things or whatever else. But the tension is kind of very much smooth.
You can't scroll to the side. The Google Hangouts thing is in my way.
Again. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
that's the case, I kind of want to make these a little longer and then make him a little pudgier, or less pudgy.
Yeah, some ways. The end goals of how can I make them as non-human as I can while still having them be kind of humanoid-ish. Mostly because there's, I remember reading some study about how the humanoid form is actually probably the most effective in terms of how much brain it can support as a ratio to the body, the overall size, which is kind of cool.
It's definitely the most effective way we've found. And we've had a few billion years of evolution to try and fuck around.
Yeah. It's like they're reaching back behind them for something.
I'm trying to get all the limbs drawn, which kind of means drawing it as spread as and stiff as possible, just so that I know I have all the pieces.
Yeah.
I can see them all. It's not the best posing ever, but
Yeah, when you're trying to figure out where do all of these bits go, okay, then yeah, posing is
posing is kind of secondary.
My God, such a poser. I don't even like Alien Megadeth.
I feel like you made a joke that just went over my head about metal.
Oh no, it was mostly about making fun of hipster types who go, oh my God, you've never heard of Insert Band Here or The Pretty Underground or whatever else.
Yeah. Okay.
But it does sound like a metal band name, I'll grant you. Did I tell you the most recent adventure of Derpy Mac and its trips to the Apple Store?
I don't know what most of those words mean, and any of them together.
So the latest in the stream of my chronic Mac issues.
Oh.
Today, plugged it into an external monitor. Didn't work. Try a different port. Now try a different monitor and different cable and switch from Thunderbolt to. Hmm?
That was our timer.
Oh no.
I'm going to do a couple of details of like just hammering out balance issues because I think that having him lean forward this much looks really weird.
I mean, the 90% of stuff is done.
Yeah. Is that kind of what you envisioned?
Sorta. Yeah. Like, I didn't have a clear enough picture in my head to have a definitely clear idea of exactly how some of it matches up. I think that the head tentacle is probably a fair bit shorter.
A fair bit shorter. That's not hard to
Yeah,
fix.
like it's shorter than the normal arm ones.
Okay.
It's kind of, it's almost like if you took one of the hands and stuck it on the back of the head. Maybe a
Oh,
little.
that's a fair amount shorter.
Yeah. I didn't know earlier on how long you're planning to draw the arms, so yeah. Yeah, I guess you could consider it like a large hand, but it's only the one.
It's just
hand.
one tentacle? Okay.
Yes, it's just one. It's basically a prehensile tentacle in the back of their head.
Oh, that makes him look way cuter. Look at that. Look at how adorably shrimpy he looks now.
It's gone from being flowing hair tentacle to, I got a tentacle there. There.
It's a little cheeky guy.
Yeah. He's got such angry.
They're not eyebrows. They're supposed to be like the sculpting of the shape of the eye socket. I just didn't really get around to that. Like, they're not flush. Kind of wanted to do a thing where I angled the nose out a little bit.
Yeah.
To give it more dimensionality to the face, and then.
Makes sense. That makes sense. It looked like a little eyebrow, and I was like, fair enough. They can have an eyebrow. That's allowed. I hadn't decided if they did or didn't, so it's all good.
It is like a brow line, I guess, kind of, but in the fact that their eye sockets are a different shape.
Yeah. And what they definitely don't have is angry eyebrows. It's angry. That's like not a thing.
I want to make this nose come out a little bit more. Okay. That didn't work. I don't like that. A little flatter than that one.
Those line bits and just stick a slightly nosy thing somewhere and call it good.
I don't like that. That doesn't look like a human face, but it looks like you kind of understand what's going on.
I'd almost be inclined to say, like, just leave the little side lines on that one, so on the nose, like the little vertical sidey ones, and just take the rest of it out. It look kind of, I don't know, apt.
You just want it to be really flat like that?
Yeah, that looks good to me.
I kind of want like some indication of what's happening here in these lines.
Oh yeah.
It comes up here, I think. So they've got a
Perspective is tricky sometimes. Perspective is tricky sometimes.
I know. Tell me about it.
How does reality do this?
Do they have eyelids? If so, then their eyes are probably not quite as baldly open.
I mean, maybe they are.
Like that, though.
Yeah. Oh, no, it just looks stoned.
That looks weird.
I kind of liked it without the eyebrows, actually. It's cool. Those are eyes that say, sleep, fuck that shit, ain't got time for sleeping. Before you ask, I have no clue where their ears are. Really not a clue. They obviously hear somehow, but it's probably just through their flesh.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. No ear holes.
No ear holes. I'll fix
Yeah.
it in a second then.
But it's easier to not give them ear holes, then I don't have to think about where the ears go.
Friggin' erase.
Ooh, cleaning. I'm also about 90% sure that my intent on the story I was going to write about all this stuff was that there's not any one protagonist. It's kind of an ensemble sort of thing. But at the same time, I had one rough idea for a character in mind that is a Suldarirueax, which I'm increasingly convinced will probably end up being the protagonist because
no matter how hard you try, a protagonist tends to emerge at some point because the story wants to be centrally focused somehow. Even
discarding that, you look at groups of people in real life, right? There's inevitably some people that are more leaders and some people that are more followers. And that's okay,
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And someone looking in from outside would be like, so they're the protagonists. I mean, depending on your point of view, yeah, some people are protagonists in my life. Some people are actually not.
He's got like a weird little butt on his head. I'm okay with that.
Sounds like a tendon. Trying to decide if it looks better with that kind of texturing of the start of the head tentacle or not. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Now he just looks like he farted.
Make his face smilier, then it'll look less farty.
Are you sure about that? No, he really looks like he farted.
Curse you kids. Or neutral face. Neutral face also works. Neutral faces never look farty. They just look neutral.
He doesn't have any eyelids or eyebrows, so it's really hard to make his eyes look not just perpetually shocked. So there's not a lot of neutral.
They don't look shocked right now. They look kind of, I am looking at you, okay?
He looks awkward about it, though.
Give the lip like a tiny little up curl at the end. Not like super big or anything, just that tiny little touch of up. And that would probably do. And it's kind of casual smile. It's not a smile, it's a neutral smile, Now they're getting glasses.
No, you know how fish have those like things around their eye?
Yeah.
It's not quite a lid, that's what that's supposed to be. Oh, Jesus. Wait, where did all these come from? Thought I got rid of these lines.
You merged them layers!
I didn't, though.
I mean, there were 3 layers earlier. Now there's 2.
True. When the fuck did I merge layers?
Gotta be pretty recently. Really freaking recently. Wait, the history mobile? No?
I'm sure that I could figure it out, but it would be a pain.
You, I imagine.
Pretty sure that this stuff over here was the original hand sketch that I did that we don't want.
Lens, urge, kill! Quote the Space Marines. In space.
Space, indeed.
In space! Our battle brothers are stationed in space. Well, this mission. Let's just drop us an asteroid on them. Okay, right, done.
Sounds good. Asteroid coming in.
Yep, does the job. Freaking love the Space Wolves, man. They're just like, Inquisition, you are being dicks, so fuck you. First founding chapter up in this shit, ruining your day by saying no. They just wander around, doing the same thing as they did 1,000 years ago, pissing people off by not being cunts. Yeah, it's wonderful. Aside from the annoying new like Wolf of the Wolfy Wolf shit that's going around, I don't want to make it that. It's kind of crappy. Is today a pizza kind of day?
I was wondering the same thing earlier.
I mean, we probably shouldn't, given I've already like had dinner. But you know, good caveat.
Sometimes it's important to spell these things out.
You know what? I just got my like lengthy buncho. Here is what they are. I should probably add my shitty pencil sketch at some point. Ooh, now here's a tricky question.
Okay.
Pizza or deep dish or Mexican?
I would go with Mexican.
See, I probably would too. I love pizza dearly, but Mexican is glorious and wonderful and made of delicious.
I wish I could get Mexican food delivered to me, not having to pay ridiculous extra charges.
See, there's a solution to that. You should visit Vancouver. We also have mountains and pretty water for sun to sparkle on, and blue skies and sunshine and sunsets. Lots of sunsets.
I think you have the same number of sunsets that most places have.
Maybe in terms of count, but in terms of length, I'm pretty sure we get a solid extra half a year's worth of sunset for annum. I mean, they're long.
Way to count it.
You know, the sunset started like an hour ago, and it's currently at about, still a solid 30 degrees above the horizon.
Yeah, our sunset's still going on.
West Coast, Best Coast.
West Coast, Best Coast. True dat.
front two legs have gotten slightly derpy.
Hmm?
Those front two legs have gotten slightly derpy. Like there's a bit where it looks like it's being pulled against, and there's nothing for it to be pulled against for the back of the two.
That line got way bigger than I wanted it to.
Huge. How acceptable is it to have second dinners after you've had dinner?
You're an adult. You get to make these decisions now.
But acceptability is all about society's standards, which means asking fellow members of society for their opinion.
Oh, I'm like the worst member of society when it comes to understanding the rules.
That's true, though.
I don't have a solid grasp on normal.
But you do occasionally remember that it exists.
I do remember it exists, because every now and then I am very sharply reminded that I have no idea what that's like.
I mean, my case in point example is going to be water fighting in a museum. Like nearly happened. Oh dear, that's ambulances going past. And fire trucks.
That's upsetting, but whatever's happening is well in hand.
Concerning, one might say.
Hey, don't play white with you. Hey, what did I just say? Friggin' thing. Hi! His face is just so weird looking.
That's the idea. Make it alien and neat.
You want it smooth? All the way around?
You spin it right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. Oh no, his arm. The arm is gone. Dun dun dun.
Oops, wait. I want this way.
I don't think I want a whole pizza. I think I just want like a slice or two.
Well, you can have a whole pizza and then pizza for later.
Then I'd be likely to eat the whole pizza. You know what pizza's like.
I do know what pizza's like. That's true.
You know, it's all friendly. It's like, yeah, you can just have one slice. It's fine. And then before you know it, you've eaten
the
an entire
whole damn thing.
and yeah, you then feel slightly guilty.
Poor pizza. He's just being a friendly guy.
It's a pretty fun guy with mushrooms.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
That pun was pretty cheesy.
Sounded pretty good tomato. This area has grown mighty.
There we go.
Because rubbing it out and starting from scratch would be far too much work. Death to the hand.
I needed it there as a placeholder, but now I'm going to pose it. Oh my god. No.
Tonight is definitely not a Chinese kind of night.
What?
Tonight is not a Chinese kind of night.
I wish it were. I would get Chinese food. This is delicious.
I mean, it's delicious and it's a great default, but it's not a Chinese kind of night. It's too warm for Chinese, you know?
No? Okay.
It's never too warm for pizza, though.
Yes. Okay.
No? Oh, I learned a thing. There's a really good gelato place near me, and I knew about it before. But turns out they do a chocolate sorbet, which is kind of a weird idea. Except this chocolate sorbet, I'm not sure what they did, but it's super, super creamy. Completely non-dairy.
Yeah, you told me about it.
Yeah. It still is confusing to my brain. Because it tastes freaking delicious. Did you know it's Canada Day on Friday?
I didn't.
Now you do.
Now I do. Is there going to be some special celebration?
Probably quite a lot of them.
Is
It's
that like a big deal? I mean, I would imagine if it's a big deal anywhere, it's in Canada, it would be a big deal. But
yeah, it's basically like the 4th of July.
oh, okay,
Yeah, no.
cool.
Yeah, it's when it's when Canada came into being. Like, it's when the different colonies, Britain had several colonies in this chunk of land, and they decided, let's just unify these into one big colony that we'll call Canada. So they, did the thing, and Canada was born.
And thus, Canada happened.
Yep. Pretty much, suddenly Canada. Quebec, of course, hates this, because Quebec is special. So, yeah. Fucking. Yeah. So, yeah, there'll be fireworks, and near my place, people are doing a free pancake breakfast as a thing. Apparently, it's a tradition around my neighborhood to have a pancake breakfast on Canada Day. Pretty cool tradition.
That is a pretty cool tradition. Any excuse that a pancake breakfast can happen regularly is probably a good thing.
Yep. Sadly, I'll be working on Canada Day, but
I'll be working on the 4th of July, so you know.
Oh well. Still, we'll get free lunch. Because it's Friday, and we always have free lunch on Friday. But, no.
Yeah, no.
And this weekend is D&D. It's always good.
So fucking jealous of you. My D&D group let my donkey die while I've been AFK.
Aww. See, I have, that's a thing that I'll make a particular point on, is if somebody's not there, you can't fuck with their character and shit.
Oh, it's not my donkey, it's the party's donkey, but it was really my donkey.
Right.
I took care of that donkey. Anytime we were in town, I was like, we need to check on Sugar Lumps. He's in the stable.
You've written him on your character sheet.
No, he was actually owned by one of our other characters, technically. But he liked me better.
See, at that point, that other character's like, I will sacrifice Sugar Lumps to the evil god insert name here, then you definitely protested if you were present. But it's up to them, really.
No one sacrificed the donkey. The donkey just fell in a river and got bludgeoned to death by river rocks.
That is a pretty ignoble end for
a very noble beast.
Oh man, did I tell you about the donkey in my campaign?
Nope.
So the gnome merchant has a donkey. He's a traveling merchant. However, said donkey, who is incidentally called Amos, the gnome is convinced is descended from royalty, from a unicorn specifically.
That sounds like a character I would play.
Oh, Nim is glorious. If something's looking like it's starting to get a little bit, dry or dull, and Nim is around,
it just looks that way. It's not going to stay, though.
Yeah, just Nim will happen, and the problem is solved. Not necessarily the situation. Will do something interesting and entertaining.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Fortunately, he's also, if the party are like, we really need to be vaguely subtle here, there are plenty of ways in which Nim can be thoroughly distracted. And the player is quite happy to have him be thoroughly distracted if the rest of the party wants to do something schemy and quiet and planny, etc., etc. So that's all good. Oh yeah, I never told you what color they are, did I?
No, I'm just doing some basic black and white shading right now. What color are they?
They're kind of a sky blue. Yeah, sky bluish. And if I decide to go and poke, I'll tell you a hex color. Because fuck it, I can. AEEAFC.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. So yeah, Amos, Nim has his iron rations and pays several goldenite for Amos to have the finest stall, fresh hay every hour or something, vegetables freshly picked for his food, etc., etc. Yeah. Even better, other party members are starting to grow fond of Amos. Great. The rogue, who, to be fair, was originally raised by druids, and has a pet mouse, is very fond of Amos. Nuzzle and give him a hug and da-da-da-da-da. Sometimes just to get Nim to, go along with whatever she's saying. Often than not, just because she likes the donkey, which is nice.
That is nice.
Yeah. I'm never quite convinced. I'm never sure when Kelsey is being serious or not. She's the
player of the rogue.
No. That's another character. This is the dwarven barbarian, who's a trader. She likes to channel her rage in constructive ways. Yeah. she is very, very good at the whole politicizing, shenaniganing, seeming sincere sort of thing. That's her modus operandi. So I'm never quite sure whether she's sincere in her liking of Amos or not. But as time goes on, I'm increasingly inclined to think that she actually does, which is nice. And yeah, Veston the human, who is by far the one closest to Nim in the party, is kind of shrug about the donkey. But, this is the same character whose player was happy to describe his action as, yeah, Veston's going to kind of go and brood for a while. Okay, so he's not going to X or Y or Z or whatever. No, that would cut into his valuable brooding time.
He needs that time to brood.
Yeah. Yes. So it is now a running joke of, where's Veston brooding? As you do. Yeah. It seems to happen a lot when I run games, when the party decides to have a pet of some kind. I don't even push it hard. They just start asking it questions, taking whatever random shit I have the animal do in response as meaningful and useful answers.
That's how it works.
And the pet becoming one of the most core and vital parts of the party. Like the Firefly game with Herr Tibbles, the cat, who, would be asked a question of, what do you think, Herr Tibbles? And I would roll most of the dice I could get my hands near, and then say something along the lines of, Herr Tibbles thinks spoiler, 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 and communicates this to you by purring and brushing against your leg. Or, pointing at your trouser leg. To which the mechanic's usual response, especially to the pointing at trouser leg, was to decide, oh, right, wants to play patty cake, and resume trying to teach her Tibbles to play patty cake.
I always liked playing the pet when I was doing text-based stuff. It's not as fun when you're not doing text-based, but if you can manage to get a game where you're somebody's familiar, that's funny.
Yeah, when you're a familiar and can at least effectively communicate.
No, I always played it where I couldn't. I always had to really come up with interesting ways to show and not tell.
Sure, but where the concept that you might be trying to communicate something is perfectly reasonable because, hey, you're an intelligent creature. We know this because you're a familiar. We may struggle to understand what you're trying to convey, but the idea that you might be trying to convey something rather than, oh, look at the kitty being adorable, makes a slight difference. It's more in the expectation.
Yeah.
It means that they actually will bother to try and figure out what you're saying.
A lot of times it worked out in my favor such that, there was this one RP where I played Kirara from Inuyasha.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I didn't sign it up on my character sheet or anything. Kirara was just not a chosen character, because who the fuck wants to play her? She's a fucking demon cat, doesn't talk, doesn't have any interesting character development as far as I know. It's just a steed for another character. And at some point, I just started, every now and then, I would make sure that Kirara did something. And after a while, she wasn't usually thought of as intelligent or asked questions, but she's known to be. But after a while, she became a pretty pivotal part of that crew. Because I would just be doing stuff, having her communicate things, but I never had her say anything. She would just be like, "Phew," she said indignantly.
Yeah, animals in the party are always fun. Yeah, there's the ones that are less a functional animal in their own and more a function of another character, like Nibbles, the pet mouse, who is pretty much just part of Jack, doesn't really have anything else going on. It's just a fixture in Jack's pocket that squeaks and it's fed cheese. I'm trying to figure out on that middle and back where the stretch is coming from.
Right here?
No,
right
down. The ones in the background.
Oh, this is supposed to kind of have this line more over here that I haven't
More
really
to the
fixed.
right. Down. The one literally the black line that you're about to touch. It arcs left to right.
Oh,
Because
here's leg 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, so I can see where leg 3 is coming up, and leg 4, the flesh looks like it's being pulled from leg 2 to something behind leg 3, but what? Where?
It's being pulled to leg 3.
From and why is there this huge cavity here?
Why is there a huge cavity in your palm?
Because those are not equidistant.
They're not equidistant, no, but there's going to be a cavity, like because of the way the joints have to arrange.
Yeah, so either if there's a cavity, why do I see a thing behind it? It's kind of my thinking. Because if they're all starting around the same height and they're all similar,
why would they all be starting around the same height instead of having the longer ones in front? I mean, that's kind of how I drew it for this one. Not really thinking about it, I guess. I just sort of automatically, because we have 3 legs in front, I had the shorter, stubbier ones that you'd lean on in the back, and then kind of a longer one.
They can kind of function on whatever angle. Was my thinking of. They're just like stable as fuck. You shove them, they balanced.
Since they only have 2 arms, they're not perfectly symmetrical, which means they do have a leaning side.
That's true. But they kind of turn effectively around their waist. Air quotes around waist. So it's like that. Yeah, okay, I can say that. Like if leg 5 swings forward, you'll end up with a similar thing from leg 1 to leg 5.
Mm-hmm.
Lock out the area behind. Is that your thinking?
Kind of what I'm thinking. It's just like there needs to be room for the legs to swing and things like that.
Yeah. Mentally envisioned, but that's cool. My description was not like excruciatingly detailed or anything, so and it still looks pretty darn good.
I've done something that's wrong there. I've not done that right somehow.
I'm now playing a very dangerous game with myself. That game where you're not hungry, but you also want to get food.
That's a dangerous game.
It is. It's the kind of game that leads to lighter wallets and fatter stomachs.
Mm-hmm.
Very tricky game to win.
I'm hungry, but I don't want to get food. That's an even harder game to win in some ways.
True. Because inevitably, when you decide, okay, now I am hungry, it's usually too late to get takeout, and you're left with whatever's in the fridge, and it's never quite as satisfying as the whatever part of your brain had decided was definitely the thing that we should eat now. It's rarely the same thing, so yeah.
And I mean, a lot of this flexible and stretch could just be coming from the fact that this is the direction it is walking currently.
Yeah, that's true. My intent in thinking is definitely that they're like,
Gelatinous, as you told me.
yeah, and therefore there's a lot of room for flexibility. They're rigid where they choose to be, rather than there's going to be some consistency, but not nearly as much as with bones, right? Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't go, I'm going to break your limb, because they'd just like bend. It would be sore, probably, but it's like when you bend a muscle in a weird way. It's sore, but you're unlikely to tear it unless you do something really severe.
Yeah.
It makes it all kind of, it's not supposed to go that way, rather than it can't go that way.
What just happened?
You hit a layer that had some shades.
What just happened?
Zoom out! Zoom out!
Oh,
Panic!
Did you just do that?
How did it, what? What the bacon? That was very naughty of Krita, terrifying you like that.
It did scare me. That's certainly true.
It's like when it decided to, merge a couple of layers.
For no reason. I don't know. I have some buttons on my tablet that my left hand kind of bumps into when I draw sometimes, but I don't think. But I've disabled them like 4 times, and they keep coming back. Like zombie buttons.
Your drivers, our driver issues you keep having.
Yeah. I don't like it. It's not Krita's fault directly. It's more. I mean, Krita is the one I've noticed it in the most, mostly because I work in Krita a lot. But it's not really Krita's fault. It's more the tablet's fault, the driver's fault.
Your left hand's fault. You should just cut it off. Easier.
I'd really like to keep my left hand. I use that one more than I use my right.
You could cut your right hand off and draw with your left.
I do draw with my left.
I
don't cut it off, but I do draw with my left.
How does it hit the buttons?
While it's drawing.
That's a tricky problem.
I know.
Clearly you need some kind of robotic hand replacement that can sit in a strangely elevated position for lengthy periods of time without it being
I'm ready for robot upgrades. They sound exciting.
Yeah. There's a really cool, not quite robo, but definitely into the realms of bionic, thing. Whatchamaflip.
What's the hex code you sent me?
It is AEEAFC. You could just type it in the color name box.
That's not enough digits.
AEEAFC. Voila. Color. Color. That color though. So color.
I don't want that.
It's lost a layer. Ooh. Magic. That's what I call it, classic color pairing.
Do you want it less classic?
Oh no,
That can be arranged.
I have no objections to classic color pairings. They're classic for a reason. Red would look far too evil.
I think we can call that done for now.
Ooh.
That was a long 15 minutes.
15 minutes was for like the core, and then the rest of it was for the fun part of do the shades and the neatening of lines and all that kind of thing. How many X's can kids fit in a file name?
I'm sure it could be a lot more than I did.
Probably. You know, if you actually tried. .jpb.
Derp.
Woo! Do.
My folder is getting all full of crazy sketches.
Oh no. However, shall you cope?
Alright, well, I think that's a good end of the stream.
Alrighty. Bye-bye, viewers.
Bye-bye, all the viewers that we totally had. Whoa,
All
wait a minute. We have a notification. What's going on?
Wait, we actually had freaking viewers? What?
What?